What's up, zoners? This is Tyler, Big Turd Ward, and Jason, the lucky bastard. Ethan Wilk coming at you live from the West Coast. And this is the Fantasy Red Zone, man. Today, we have our most unlikely smashes of the week. So players that you think that are going to be terrible, probably on the waiver wire, almost 100% on the waiver wire, all right? You can pick him up and have a chance at a huge week. So those are the players that we're going to cover. I've got 4. Jason's got 4. We have some news. There's some old men trying to get back in the NFL. Jason? Might make a big difference for some of these players. Maybe Jonathan Taylor, Tyler Warren. It's fallen off a cliff lately. Anyways, before we get into all that, man, this show needs help. Jason, please tell the public how they can help this show.
Yeah, if you guys are watching this, go ahead and smash a like. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe to it. We're also on the radio, on Apple Podcasts, and on Spotify. Make sure to send us a follow there. We got a thank you button in all of our videos if you're feeling friendly. Back to you, City Slick.
All right, dude. So first subject at hand is the quarterback for the Colts, Riley Leonard. Played better than I thought he was going to play. Is dealing with what sources described as a strained knee ligament. Has him week to week, so they might not have a quarterback, Jason.
Oh.
Anthony Richardson broke his eye with a band, man. So, hey, I think last time, I can't remember what their record was, but it was good. And then they lost into, Buffalo in the playoffs with Phillip Rivers a couple years ago. So Phillip Rivers had one of his better years with Shane Steichen and the Colts. I want to say it was with Shane Steichen and the Colts. They're talking about bringing him back. So he's at least going to visit, taking a plane over there. He's not sure about his willingness to play. So how do you feel, Jason, about him being the quarterback?
Tyler Warren, managers, or Dunsky. We're out of there. I don't guy hasn't played. I think it was like Jonathan Taylor's rookie year was the last time he played.
Yeah, so I think it was with Shane Steichen. I'm probably right.
I can't remember who the coach was. But yeah, so it's been a while, but damn, dude, when you got 4 kids you gotta support, maybe coming back. Oh my god, this game. Maybe you need to come back. Child support, dude, it's not cheap.
I fell asleep before this show because I think I'm sick. But I did not watch the game, Jason. Shedeur Sanders, he's on your little list back there, your little chalkboard. We'll start the rest of the 2025 season. So I think that's better. That just takes everybody on that team's upside up. So Harold Fannin Jr. is probably the biggest benefactor here, Jason.
Yeah, he's got touchdowns with them from back-to-back games.
Yarp. So, hey, we're going to talk about him in a little bit later, so I won't say anything else. Jason, I talked about Devon Achane. Jalen Wright was the first person on my waiver wire list. People were talking about how bad it was on Reddit. Well, guess what, dude? He just hurt his rib from falling on a ball. He was adamant to Mike McDaniel that he could have returned to the game, and he's highly motivated to play next Monday. No fracture. He had an MRI, just treatment, and maybe a little bit of practice rest. So he should be in to go. I mean, dude, Achane has been amazing this year. And to just be injured on the first, the first week he misses is going to be, week 15 would have been terrible. So huge break for all the Achane owners, and it is not his rib that broke.
Yeah, I think they need to pull like the Tom Brady and maybe like flatten the football a little bit, make it easier to fall on.
Yeah. Dude, I remember getting hit in the face in PE with a volleyball, and I was like, it was one of those soft volleyballs, and I was like, this is insane. I think that is Chargers. Oh yeah, Chargers activated running back Omarion Hampton from injured reserve, so I've got to move him, Jason. I know you own him as well. How you feeling about starting him this week?
He's already got me 11 points.
Oh my God, they're playing tonight?
Yeah.
That is right, against the Eagles without Jalen Carter. So they waited until today to activate him from injured reserve? Damn, man.
Yep.
I can't be sick. My mind is a fog. But if for some reason it helped me pick up sleepers, I went bold, which is what I wanted to do. And then, yeah, Commanders, dude, you see that tight end? Did you see the Zach Ertz injury where his upper body got tackled and his leg was still going?
His leg forgot that his upper body got tackled. It was all, see ya. I'm going to the airport. Catch up when you can. Yeah, dude, that was crazy. He might be done. His career might be done after that. Not because of it's an ACL injury, but the dude's 35 years old. Coming back from that, he's going to be a 36-year-old recovering from an ACL injury. He might be done.
ACL-aholic. So he's going to be at the airport, Jason, with the sign that just says leg on it, hoping that he can pick it up later.
Oh, yeah. I got a +1. It's my leg.
My dogs. Oh, T. Higgins placed in concussion protocol. That is huge. later on.
Yeah, that I think during the game he went into the protocol and then he came back. Now he's back in it. Maybe we might see some fines coming on. I'm not talking about the cheerleaders.
Fine. I was saying the thong.
That wasn't good.
My wife is on TikTok. They're like blasting that song again, dude. It's like and I was like, do you know who that was? That was Cisco. And then he did this. Then he did. His only other song he did, I think, he did like a Wild Wild West song, and that was terrible. And he fell off the face of the earth.
Yep, one and done.
Will Smith did a Wild West song, and it was pretty good.
That was badass.
Going straight to wow.
There we go.
I'm gonna share this with you, Jason, instead of my voice.
Sorry, voice. Okay.
Sounds like an angel singing. Unlikely smashes, dude. First one. We've talked about this guy before in this exact same circumstance. Mike Gesicki. Jason, get on his jet ski and ride. 6 receptions on 6 targets, dude, for 86 yards. That's better than Jamar Chase, and a touchdown versus Buffalo. I calculated it to be a 16.7% target share, but I went to JJ Zachariason's data dump. He's at a 17% target share in 2 of the 3 games since returning from an injury at week 12. So his floor has been raised significantly from the first half of this season. T. Higgins entered concussion protocol this morning. Odds are, man, if it's on this morning, on a Monday morning, he's probably not going to be playing this week, Jason. So what happens when T. Higgins is out with Mike Gesicki? Do you remember?
Yeah, Gesicki goes crazy. My jet ski.
Yep, 8+ targets in 3 of the last 5 games without Higgins. 73+ receiving yards in 3 of those games, and had 1 game with 2 touchdowns. So his upside is literally tight end 1 for the most part. Sorry, my dog's barking at my other dog because she doesn't want to want to bang. Don't you? I know what that feels like. Versus Baltimore, week 15. Over and under for this game, Jason, is at 52.5. Cincinnati's getting 1.5 points, so they should be throwing the entire game, dude. So Mike Gesicki right now without T. Higgins. I mean, I can't think of a lower ranked tight end other than Dawson Knox last week. This is like Dawson Knox from this last week. That can be a top 5, top 3 tight end, especially with high ceiling. So to me, the most unlikely smash this week for tight ends, Jason, is Mike Gesicki.
Yeah, I watched the end of that game where he was like catching one-handed. He had one hand. Then he did the giddy. You see him do the, what do you call it?
Giddy.
The giddy, whatever it's called.
Justin Jefferson started doing it, and then everybody else had to start doing it.
But when I saw that, I was like, oh, T. Higgins must be out. But he was in, which was kind of crazy because T. Higgins like scored it right after that. But anyway, yeah. If the pattern follows from last year, if T. Higgins is out, Mike Gesicki is like a must start. I was just trying to Google right now because I'm like, whatever happened to Noah Fant? Did like who was the Joe Burrow? They didn't care about Gesicki. They focus on Noah Fant. Joe Burrow comes in, he's all, I like Gesicki.
Browning.
Yeah, Browning too.
Browning was all about Noah Fant, I think, right?
Dude, they all were until Joe Burrow came back. So I had to look. I was like, is he hurt? And he's like, no, he's still playing.
Yeah.
So it's just a preference.
Touchdown Noah Fant. That was a month ago against against the Steelers. But yeah, Jason, I'm just looking at tight ends on the waiver wire. Nobody has. And with T. Higgins out, that was the first thing I saw today. I was like, dude, I got to do Mike Gesicki as a sleeper. You got to push him, man. And the over and under for this game was at 52.5. Holy shit. So it's like everything is lining up.
And they just played 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking
in Baltimore.
Sorry, I'm yawning. I'm sick, man. Something's wrong with me. I've been sick in 3 years, Jason, so it's hit me hard. But anyways, so how would you feel about starting Mike Gesicki over Tyler Warren?
Oh, dude. What I saw from the Colts after Daniel Jones went out, I don't want any part of Tyler Warren. That's the part of the reason why one of the players I'm going to talk about is a tight end as well. I don't think he has the high ceiling like Mike Gesicki does.
I wanted to check it, bro. I forgot. Like I said, I fell asleep before this, man. I never fall asleep in the middle of the day, and all I had to do today when I got home was check to see the own, what the percentage of rostered on these players were, and so Gesicki is 1% rostered, 1.1%, dude. So go get him. All right, next up, Jason. One of yours, huh? Oh my God!
Shredder.
Right. We got Shedeur Sanders. Let's see if I can do this. How about this? Oh, I could push this all the way down.
Get it out of there, dude. Get it out.
Here we go. Satellite radio. Be like Billy Bob Thornton, Jason. Be a 70-year-old intimidating people.
No. Are you still watching that?
I'm watching somebody watch it.
Watching somebody watch it? Yeah. Marriage 101 right there.
I'm surprised I haven't heard that before. That's pretty good.
That is pretty good. Okay. Let me go here. Let me go. All right. So this guy had 364 yards versus the Titans. No other quarterback this year has thrown over 300 yards versus the Titans. He averaged 3.5 sec. Okay, hold on. He averaged 3.57 seconds time to throw. That's the second highest in the NFL this season. In a clean pocket versus the Titans, 11 for 15, 171 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So next week at Chicago, they pressure the quarterback at 17% of the time. That's the 4th fewest in the league. They give up the 6th most fantasy points to quarterbacks, giving up the 2nd most passing touchdowns in the league. But, you got to take into consideration, they also have the most interceptions at 17, which is like 10 most. It's like 10 more than number 2. It's crazy. But the Bears giving up 6 passing touchdowns in the last 3 games. It's a good matchup for the run game for the Browns, but they have not been able to run the ball well. 4th fewest rushing yards per game this year for the Browns. So they pass the ball 57% of the time, which is ranked 10th in the league. And we kind of already talked about this. He has Fanning on this team, and he's targeting him a lot. Fanning, as his tight end, is almost guaranteed for a touchdown. 25% target share, 65 receiving yards a game, and back-to-back weeks with a touchdown. So he's targeting the Browns' best player. That's very important. And the Bears give up the highest passing touchdown percentage inside the 10-yard line. So when you get inside the 10-yard line, the Bears, against the run defense, is actually amazing, and they stop you. But they've given up the most passing touchdowns inside the 10-yard line at a rate of 61%. He could be a good streamer if your quarterback was Daniel Jones this year.
And that shitty weather didn't they have bad weather in Cleveland last week? Because I'm like, This is going to be at Chicago, dude. But, hey, the way that he has his big plays and stuff, and he kind of keeps the play alive, holds on to the ball way too damn much. I think they had 14 quarterback hits on Shedeur Sanders. Tennessee did. That's crazy. So I don't like that. But in the snow and stuff, I can see some explosive plays. And, dude, they should be throwing the ball the entire time. Chicago is favored by 7.5 points, so more than a touchdown. A lot of times that ends out in a blowout, Jason. So Shedeur Sanders, either through normal play or garbage time, should be better than Sam Darnold. Again, I don't know if you saw what I was talking about Sam Darnold. He's got like 5 or fewer fantasy points in 3 of the last 5 games. Yeah. So dude, like Shedeur Sanders is a better start than that. So I do like that as a smash. And he's only 7% rostered. So unlikely it is, Jason, and his upside, you already saw it, dude. 4 touchdowns, 30-something points.
I do like him as an underdog in Chicago.
I would take the points on that. Yeah, I'd call that like a 3-point game because it's not like Caleb Williams, dude. But Cleveland's defense played so bad. I don't understand it. They've been decent to really, really good, and then they just played so bad versus Cam Ward. So Vegas is probably looking at like, what the hell do we do about that?
Yeah, I want the Browns to score all the points. I want this to be a catch-up game for the Shredder as he shredded the Titans. Yeah, didn't Tony Pollard have like over 100 yards rushing against the Browns?
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Like, he's been on people's benches for the past like 7 weeks. He goes up against the Browns, the best run defense in the league, and he posts that. That's crazy.
I actually ranked him a little bit higher because for some reason he's been getting a lot more carries as of late. Relative to Tyjae Spears, I think, if I remember correctly, because I was looking him up, like, where should I rank him? And he looked at his carries, and you're like, shit, I should rank him a little bit higher, but He's been so inefficient. All of a sudden, he was super efficient. So that was a big difference there. All right, Jason, next up. This is, I heard this before last game. And I was like, you know what? This is a coincidence. It's game script dependent. Whatever. They were saying that they tweeted out they want to have Kyren Williams have fresh legs going into the playoffs, Jason. Blake Corum came out, ran for 12 times for 128 yards and 2 touchdowns in a blowout, right? So that's important that it's a blowout. And, oh, shit, I didn't even write that. 48% running back rushing share this guy had. So almost a 50% with Kyren Williams. And I think he had it was more like 33% the week before that. But it is the second straight week of outgaining Kyren Williams on the ground. He had a touchdown and 81 yards the week before that. So 3 touchdowns in the last 2 weeks. The Rams are saying that they want to keep Kyren legs fresh, and they keep on winning. They are in the playoffs. Now, this is the problem. This is not going to be a blowout versus Detroit week 15. But they've been allowing the 10th most rushing yards per game, and the over and under for this game is at 55.5. So even if he's in that 30% running back rushing share, I would expect him to get a rushing touchdown. In tough situations, I think they're going to be putting Blake Corum out there. They do not need to win this game. It would be nice. And the over and under is the highest on the week. And I was thinking, man, Detroit kills the running back, right? No, he does not. They do not. 10th most rushing yards per game. And they've been giving up even more than that over the last 3 games. I want to say it's like 112 compared to like 107 or something like that, average on the season. So, Jason, as far as I was going to put Samaje Perine on here for my most unlikely. But I can't remember why I didn't. There was something I hated about it. I saw this one and I liked it better. So Blake Corum to me right now, if I'm just throwing somebody out there, my running back 2, and I had to go for super high upside, he seems like the only running back, because it's very rare to find somebody like that, especially at this point of the season, that can be like that. How do you feel about Blake Corum, Jason?
Yeah, when I was thinking about players for this segment, I was actually thinking about Blake Corum because I watched the game. He scored in the first quarter when they were actually trailing. So he got his points, his touchdown before Kyren Williams did. And so Corum finished with only one fewer carry and was involved throughout. He out-carried Williams in the first quarter and saw the same number as him in the third. So he's getting the opportunities. And for some reason, this game, they actually decided to give to the running backs inside the 5-yard line, which is huge, which is great. That's what the Rams need. That's what Kyren Williams needs. Is what Blake Corum needs.
Well, when Devontae Adams is dealing with an injury, that is your short yardage guy, and now you don't want to put him in that scenario while he's injured with a hamstring. So they're going to just run the shit out of the ball. So this is probably lining up on several different ways. I'm glad you mentioned that, Jason. Yeah, so I really like, and he's 22% rostered. So there are going to be some leagues where, probably a lot of Kyren Williams owners have him. But other than that, you should be able to go grab him and start him still.
Yeah, absolutely. If he's available.
He's available. I also have some honorable mentions at the end of this episode, Jason.
Alrighty,
Jason, you're next up. I forgot about this guy. I was like, who is this?
Dude, this one's going to be a very short one because this is straight up rolling the dice. And this is because I'm a Tyler Warren fan. And after what I saw in Jacksonville, it's not pretty. It's not pretty. And it's got me a little scared. So, destroy the Sinnott. Do I sound
0.1% rostered, Jason? 0.1% rostered.
Yeah. This is, like I said, this is going to be short because there's not a lot on this guy. This is, like I said, this is a straight up gamble right here. A second round draft pick in 2024. Check this out, though. Second tight end drafted after Brock Bowers. So Brock Bowers was first. Then it was this guy. He was in the 98th percentile in burst score, 95th percentile in agility score, and 96 in clutch radius. Zach Ertz averages 10 yards per reception. Ben, he averaged 14 in college. So the one thing that really came to my mind about this matchup is that the last time Zach Ertz had a season-ending injury, he was replaced by Trey McBride.
How did Trey McBride do that season?
Amazing. I had him. I had this guy, and I'm hoping, maybe he's teaching these young bucks something, and like he's all, when I leave, you can carry the crown for me. Well, he's gone. He's not going to be coming back anytime soon, and maybe this is what needs to happen for Uncle Ben, to do well.
Like when I saw it, I was like, because I was like sick, and I'm like, Ben Snow, isn't that the actor? Is Ben Kingsley? It was the actor that I was thinking of. He played the Mandarin in like the in the DC movies and some other stupid shit. But Jason, I mean, hey, dude, the way that Zach Ertz gets targeted, if he gets all those, because I mean, he's literally had like 4 targets on the entire season. He's never had a game with more than 1 target this. Snow.
Well, when it comes to the passing, Zach Ertz has been there. Zach Ertz, he played every game last season. He played every game, and he played every game this year. But he is no longer with us.
Dude, but still, I mean, 8 targets, 13 targets, 5 targets, 4 targets, 6 targets, 7 targets. But the 2 games before he got injured, 8 targets and 13 targets. That's probably top 3 in tight end targets over that 2-week span. And I know at the Giants, Jason, the Giants give up a ton of points, so that's great. But I'm thinking they give up like a ton of rushing yards.
Yeah, so they give up a ton of points to running backs and wide receivers. But honestly, I'm not afraid of that.
Let me just see. I'm interested to see what the over and under for this game is, Jason. And they're coming off a bye, the Giants. I don't really care about that either. Good thing for Jackson Dart. The fool needs a bye.
And Jaden Daniels, I think he's like 50-50 this week on if he could play. If he does, he's going to get a bump too.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. He was getting a lot of targets without Jaden Daniels though too, but 13 targets I think the week before that is fucking crazy.
This
what was that? What was the game I'm looking at, Jason? Washington and what?
Washington and New York. This Chargers Eagles game is a mess.
47.5 over and under?
There you go.
We're getting into the okay, man. I like that. It's not bad at all.
Defense. There's no defense on the field.
Yeah, it's going to be a close game, too. The Commanders are actually getting 2.5 points, so it's going to be a field goal game. So it should be thrown the entire time, even though the Giants give up a ton of points on the ground.
Oh, yeah. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. But Dan Quinn, his approach this week is actually removing every defensive player off the field. He thinks that will help him win this week.
So I didn't know if I should start, do this guy or Patrick Bryant. Patrick Bryant ended up being a what is that called, Jason? An honorable mention. So Isaac Teslaa is who I went with just for straight up upside. If you watch this guy play at all, Jason?
Yeah, he's like the Jake Bobo for the Lions.
He's got 8 receptions on the year with 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, Jake Bobo.
He's 8% rostered. So he should be available pretty much everywhere. Let me write that real quick. But watching this guy, I'm like, if they didn't have Jameson Williams, this shit would be insane. Like, I bet you this fool would be a big play guy, maybe even better than Jameson Williams. 8% rostered. He just seems like he plays like older than what he really is. 2 receptions on 3 targets for 20 yards and a touchdown at Dallas. So only 3 targets, only a 10% target share. That's without Khalif Raymond. And he ran a route on 83% of Detroit's dropbacks. That's pretty damn good, dude. Like, usually I like 87% or more for like a wide receiver 2. And this guy's a wide receiver 3 running that many routes. He's seen route shares of 94% and 83% over his last 2 games, by far the highest rates of the season. And then looking at Raymond, he suffered an ankle injury in the 3rd quarter of week 12, and I have not seen shit about him. I'm assuming it sounds like he's going to be out for a little bit longer. Receiving touchdowns in back-to-back games for Teslaa, that is where he is needed the most. Jameson Williams is kind of like a, over-the-top, big play type of stuff. Isaac Teslaa has been great inside the red zone. 4 touchdowns on 8 receptions again. 3rd-round draft pick. So the draft capital is there. He's at the Rams, Jason. I meant to check the over and under for this game, but it's got to be insane. I think, didn't I already start somebody from this? I thought it was 55.5. So, yeah, Blake Corum. So the over and under for this game is at 55.5. You want a piece of it, and there's probably a 50% chance this guy catches a touchdown, and there's a non-zero chance he might get a big game out of nowhere. So I love Isaac Teslaa as a deep sleeper this week in your flex option with crazy upside. He has not done it yet, but I'm just thinking like rookies, especially man, like the rookies for Detroit. It seems like they always blow up at the end of the year. Let's see, over 55.5. But how do you feel about Isaac Teslaa, Jason?
Dude, I think if you need it, this is just a horrible Monday Night Football game. I think he's a good pickup, especially. Who would be covering him from the Rams?
I know. Well, it's I just know that their Forbes has been giving up a lot more points lately. I took him off of my bad matchups list, and I think their other good cornerback was a slot cornerback, which is not where he runs his routes. Teslaa.
Yeah, I think this guy could be like almost guaranteed to get like a touchdown in this game, at least a touchdown. Actually, that'd be a good Vegas question coming up in a couple days.
Yeah, I know. I'm interested to see what they say about Isaac Teslaa. But again, man, 23 years old, rookie, the highest scoring game that there's going to be this week at the end of the season. Amon-Ra St. Brown is still dealing with that ankle injury, even though he got a lot of targets. I would just like him in the red zone to get at least one touchdown this game with potential for more, dude. Like, no joke.
Yeah, he even like killed it in the preseason.
Yeah, I know. He's been doing the same thing all for like 8 months. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I'd be so excited about him without Jameson Williams. Like, I wish they would trade Jameson Williams after this year. But whatever. All right, Jason. Next up. Okay, this guy was on my waiver wire list for a couple times in a row now. And it was upsetting me about how, like, why does nobody want a starting running back for an NFL team, Jason? And he was getting like 10 plus fantasy points, like three of the last 4 games or something like that. I'll have to go look at it.
I think maybe people were wondering, like I was wondering too, like, are we completely done with Bill? Is Bill no longer?
Is he no
longer on the hype train? You know, did he fall off? I think that might have been a concern, but
10 plus points only in 2. It was 2 of the last 4 weeks before this week, and then he had a bad week again. But he gets the Giants.
Exactly right. So Rodriguez had 10 carries to Bill's 7 last week. Back-to-back games where Bill had under 20% snap share. So this guy's not even getting on the field. Last week, Rodriguez had 11 carries. This week, he had 10 carries for 52 yards against the Minnesota Vikings. The Giants are the worst run defense in the league. They have given up 12 rushing touchdowns to running backs this season. Rodriguez has a 40% of the carries inside the 5-yard line. That's the most on the Commanders. And the Giants give up a 6.1 yards per carry. That is the most in the league for defense. And they've given up 157 rushing yards per game. And in the last 3 games, they've given up 161. So now,
holy shit!
What I'm thinking, it's like, dude, for this episode, I've been trying to attack the games that had like no defense. Chris Rodriguez is going to get at least 10 carries in this game, plus a goal line opportunity if they get down there. And he's got a great matchup against the Giants this week. So if people are struggling, you know, maybe if you had Vidal and no longer want him anymore, and you got Chris Rodriguez.
I didn't know that Chris Rodriguez played for the Pirates, Jason.
The Pirates.
157 yards per game.
Oh, is that what I put? I was like, I thought you meant the baseball. I was going to say, yeah, he was the shortstop.
What's a Pirate's favorite letter, Jason?
R.
No, you think it be, but it be the C. I can't remember what it is, but it's
is
the
it
C.
B or is it C?
C.
Okay, because you said B twice.
Yes, I know. Whatever, dude. B the C. Fuck. I haven't said that joke in a long time, man. Whatever. Get off me. Back off. I love this one, Jason. If you didn't send me Chris Rodriguez, that'd have been my number one thing. Okay, there, Jason. I was looking at this game. You said it was going to shit. Hey, man, the cornerbacks for the Chargers have not been allowing anything. They already have 2 interceptions. And then Kamani Omarion Hampton, I thought it sucked that, you know, I didn't know if I could start him or not. And it was on a Monday night. So I think I even kept him on my bench because I'm like, dude, I don't know if how much he's going to play, if he's healthy or what. And now, hey, man, already reception touchdown and 5 carries. Looking good, Jason.
Yep.
All right, dude. Here we go. Next up, we're going to talk about, is it the last one of mine? I think it is the last one of mine. It is Tyler Shough. And I wish he had a better matchup this week, but it's hard to find quarterbacks that I really believe in with upside. Like, again, I would rather start this guy probably over Sam. This guy's got a higher floor than Sam Darnold. Yeah. He only threw the ball 20 times. What do you say, Jason?
No, this is good because this is another guy that I was like, I could do like, Shredder, or I could do Shough. Which S do I want to do?
All right. Well, he only threw for 144 yards and an interception. And he only threw the ball 20 times. And you're like, why?
Played in a hurricane. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah. And they're like, why the hell am I starting this guy? Well, he ran the ball 7 times for 55 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's great. 6+ rushing attempts in each of the last 3 games. That is literally like what Justin Fields averaged last year. I think it was like 6 rushing attempts a game, I want to say. And we were like, who cares what he throws for? 38 passing attempts in 2 of the last 3. So, Jason, before this, he had 38 and like 43 pass attempts. So when the weather is better, they will throw the ball. Carolina, I was like, man, like they're holding people down. Their defense has been tough against the pass all year, right? Well, Carolina outside the top 25 in most rushing yards allowed to quarterback. Oh, that's a bad thing, actually. I Googled. I was like, hey, NFL defenses, allowing the most rushing yards to quarterbacks. It wouldn't even share it with me because it was so far down the list. So Carolina is actually pretty good against rushing quarterbacks. So that does suck. 2nd round draft pick, Tyler Shough was. I thought he was later than that, man. They picked him in the 2nd round. But yeah, Carolina, man, I was like, this is a terrible matchup. They've been a little bit worse than average. I mean, average is like, 16th, 17th. They've been giving up the 14th most passing yards over the last 3 games. So even though I think of them being like shutting everybody down, they're kind of been a little bit worse than average versus the pass. So Tyler Shough, as long as the weather's good, should be throwing the ball maybe 35+ times, rushing the ball 6+ times. I don't know any other quarterbacks that's doing that, man. That's on the waiver wire. I mean, I can look and see how much he's owned, but it's got to be like less than 10%, if I had to guess. 5.7%, dude, as a quarterback on the waiver wire that you could start, that running the ball that much. An offensive head coach, Kellen Moore. So things should be getting better and better and better, Jason. I like it.
Yeah, the last time he played against Carolina, he scored 19 points.
There you go.
Dude, check this guy out. Part of the reason why I watched this game, because I have Chris Olave, and he doesn't like Chris Olave anymore, so he's gone. But yeah, he is a running quarterback. This is actually a crazy stat. His escape rate is 5.1%. That's 4th best in the league. That's crazy. But yeah, then it comes to like design run games per game. He's ranked 15th for quarterbacks. Red zone carries per game. That's 10th best for quarterbacks. So the running is actually pretty good. And it sounds like he can escape and then he runs. That's great. That's what you want from a running back. And they pass the ball the 6th most because they can't run the ball. So they're passing the ball a lot. And yeah, that's why I was looking at this. I'm like, dude, this could be a great unlikely smash because of his running game in general.
And then when you were talking about escapability, I was thinking about that clip I saw of Cam Ward not getting sacked that time. Did you see that shit?
Yeah. I don't know. I think the Browns given up. The defense have. Oh, except Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett's going for that record, yo.
I almost looked like it wouldn't look like me because once I got there, I would have like kind of just like crab walked around him. But I tried to tackle him. That's what I feel like would have happened. I would have got shoved to the ground. Concussion. Send me to the blue tent. All right, Jason. This was a huge one right here. This is, I think, the biggest smash, man. I mean, there's no way they roll CeeDee Lamb out there. I know it was on a Thursday night or whatever, but that was terrible optics. They need a win, so there is a chance, right? Right?
Yes.
But Flournoy, Jason.
Yeah. So Flournoy, CD is in concussion protocol. So last week against the Lions, 9 receptions, 115 yards, 1 touchdown on 13 targets. It wasn't George Pickens. It was this guy. George was shut down last week. And the last time Pickens was shut down without CeeDee Lamb playing was when he faced Sauce Gardner and Pickens only had 2 receptions for 57 yards. He did score a touchdown, though, but only 2 receptions. That game versus the Jets is also when Flournoy went 6 receptions, 114 yards on 9 targets. Do you see a pattern here, my friend? So when Lamb doesn't play and Pickens gets shut down, Flournoy goes nuclear. And Lamb might be out this week versus the Vikings. And the Vikings are great taking out the team's wide receiver 1, which would be Pickens if CeeDee Lamb doesn't play. So we have another opportunity to see Flournoy go nuclear this week against the Vikings.
So I haven't checked, but I think that my big smash is going to be, I do think that Flournoy will be good, but if CeeDee Lamb doesn't play, I think that Jake Ferguson's going to have his 14 target, 100 something yard game and maybe 2 touchdowns.
Because if I actually remember right, during that game where I was talking about with against the Jets where they shut down Pickens without CeeDee Lamb, I think Ferguson had a good game as well.
Oh, yeah. Whenever Lamb didn't play, Ferguson went off.
23 points.
Yeah.
He scored 23 points in that game. So Flournoy went off and Ferguson went off.
And I haven't checked recently, but like last season when the Vikings, the way they play their defense with God, dude, I can't even think of his name right now. I've talked about him for fucking 5 years.
Flores?
Yeah, Brian Flores, thank you. Usually they're top 3 with points given up to tight ends. Like that's just the way they play defense. And now like their defense is humming. I would bet that Ferguson gets a lot of the targets. But Jason Flournoy, as far as like unlikely smashes, if he's out there, he's owning 4% of leaks. So you could go out and pick this guy up, and I'm going to rank him probably as a wide receiver 2, if CeeDee Lamb doesn't play this week.
And the Cowboys are home.
Yeah. I mean, both are in domes. But yeah, I like with the unknown player, I like it at home. CeeDee Lamb, I wouldn't care.
I just like Dak Prescott and the Cowboys at home. They play a lot better when they're home.
I don't know, man. Yeah, the Vikings are just like perplexing the hell out of me right now. Okay. All right, Jason. So I'm going to stop sharing. Oh, wait. I'm going to keep on sharing. I'm going to show you some real shit real quick. I just want to, real fast, Jason. Do we have time?
Yeah.
Okay. Just to see if I was like, I thought I had some really good ones. I'm not going to go over too much. I know I usually go overboard.
Some honorable mentions.
What was it? Jack Beck, Jason. 4 targets came from Kenny Pickett, who came in for Geno after he hurt his shoulder. He's a 2nd-round draft pick this year, rookie. Jacoby Myers got his ass sent because, I mean, if they weren't comfortable with all their wide receivers, they wouldn't send them out. So Jack Beck, Jason, was Kenny Pickett's favorite wide receiver. And if Kenny Pickett has to start this game, I like Jack Beck a lot. The only problem is Geno Smith is like day-to-day right now or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's a big one. And then Pat Bryant, dude, the last 3 games, 6 targets, 7 targets, 4 targets, averaging 43.2 yards over the last 6 games. So if you just need 44 points, maybe a couple receptions, that's 6 points, man. That's not bad. Going against Green Bay where you know they're going to have to score. I like that. Ryan Flournoy. Oh, Rashid Shaheed, Jason. 17% target share against the Falcons. That's the highest, becoming a Seahawk. Versus Indianapolis, who's not going to be able to stay on the field this week. Shamir Dyke, Jason, saw a season-high 32% target share versus the Browns.
That's a good one.
He ran the most routes. What's up?
That's a good one right here. Dyke.
Yeah. And then Noah Brown led the Commanders in routes run against the Vikings, and now with Zach Ertz out, it's something to think about. And then I had Samaje Perine. Samaje Perine's still getting some run. I think he just had a really bad game. He had that 14-carry game and then like nothing this last game. So I didn't want to do it. So those are the honorable mentions, Jason. So, hey, if you got some sleepers, please comment down below. Share it with the world or the 200 people that might watch this or fewer. Share it with them, man. Help us everybody out. So if you like ours or you want to debate us, we think that you think that our sleepers are bad, please comment down below on that. Hopefully we earned a thumbs up, man. Hopefully we earned a subscription. This year is almost over, and we are begging you for subscriptions. Jason, please send us out.
Yes. What's coming out after this? Oh, we got the Vegas questions coming out Friday. Oh, no. Sorry. I skipped the most important episode that everyone needs to watch if they want to win this week, the first week of the playoffs. And that is the worldwide known Tyler's running back. Oh, no. Shit. Wide receiver quarterback matchup. If you want to win this week, watch it.
You would have known that CeeDee Lamb was going to go off on that man coverage and that cornerback matchup.
That's true. If you would have watched this show.
Also, sometimes it doesn't work out.
Then we got Vegas coming out Friday morning, where Vegas answers the questions, the start or sit questions for certain players. I will talk to you in that video. Deuces.
This is a Fantasy Red Zone, and we appreciate you.